Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please place the rooms. Can everybody
Get rid of that one.
microphones? Can everybody hear me now? Thank you. Notice of an extraordinary council meeting. You are hereby summoned to attend an extraordinary council meeting of Hemsworth Town Council to be held in the council chamber, Hemsworth Town Council Community Centre, Bullenshaw Road, Hemsworth, commencing at 7 p.m. on Thursday, 17th of November 2022, for the purpose of transacting the following business. So we go to item number 1, apologies for absence.
Councillors Kenyon, Eccles and Pringle, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Item 2, declarations of interest. Councillors should disclose pecuniary or non-pecuniary interests in any items on this agenda. Item 3, public question time. To receive questions from the members of the public. Yes, Catherine.
Well, first of all, can I just say how disappointed I was to see on social media that we hadn't attended the clearing of the Kingsley Memorial. Obviously on the 11th of the 11th, which in my eyes, it should have been done for. I know there was the remembrance parade on the Sunday, but in my eyes, it should have been cleaned before the 11th. It was raised in numerous council meetings for it to be sorted, and it wasn't. However, what I would like to say is thank you to Peter Hardacre for going down and clearing and planting so that it looked lovely on the Sunday. So from myself, thank you, Peter, for making sure that that was done.
They did a good job there.
So that wasn't my question.
Can I just answer that, Catherine?
Yeah.
That memorial was cleaned by the grounds maintaining staff. Just a minute. And Peter, and it looked lovely, planted the flowers. Now, if you cleaned up after the flowers, Peter, you can tell me, but the grounds maintaining staff did do the memorial.
Yeah,
They did it on
You
the
just
Friday,
heard it from
they did
Pete.
William, and I was there, I unlocked the gates for them, so I do know it was done.
well, somebody had complained saying that it hadn't been done, and I
should verify that the staff was there because on the 11th, I opened the Fitzwilliam one, and then I opened the Kingsley one for them to go in and do it.
because I rang to speak to Alan and nobody was picking up. Soon as I saw that on social media, I rang and nobody at the community centre was picking
to
up.
you that then that's what I thought.
Social media, but I think Pete's just said it anyway.
Yeah.
I said, you just said it, that it was done, but you did the planting of the flowers,
Yes,
which
he did.
looked nice.
Yeah, it was done, and we saw them doing it as well, love, so I don't
Right.
know.
Well, there were quite a few people that had said that it wasn't done.
Yeah.
So fair enough, that's fine.
Well, it's sometimes we get mixed up with that one up bottom of Tonbridge Crescent. I
Right.
think that should be done as well, so I don't know whether it's.
Well, that's the one that got done as well.
No, that's the one that got done. That's one got done.
Wakefield,
Oh, yeah.
the Fitzwilliam one was done the week previous because Melanie Jones posted pictures. The other thing, my question was, obviously, you've got item 5 saying finance about a report. Is that just being given to the councillors?
Yeah.
So when that's discussed, are we allowed to ask questions about that or
It
not?
is on the agenda and we did circulate something last week for you to read. Yes.
Those,
They
those,
were left on the seat
I
as
know,
well.
we only
Just
see.
councillors.
I thought you'd- you know that, mate.
We only got the blue, we only got the blue one telling us what was.
Fair enough. Because I got myself, I got this, everybody's got a knowledge, so. My apologies on that.
Sorry?
It's just a letter, it won't report.
Right, is there anything else, Kathy?
Yes, also, I noticed today that you've removed, Eric Mitchell off the councillor list. Is there going to be a statement regarding that?
There will be due course, Kathy, yes.
Right.
But we shouldn't have been off the list, is it?
We'll leave it
It will be
in-
better way to
yeah.
division application.
Well, yeah,
I'll let them know the public draw their own conclusion, but it will be proper to say it now.
It's just that I was looking to see about how many, and I noticed that he wasn't on, so.
There'll be full notification. I think, Kathy.
just a minute. Let me just fetch
Yeah.
member in and then I'll fetch councillors in
Can I
after
just
that.
put it to your attention? Public question time, why is it at the beginning, why is it at the end after we've made all the discussions and that? And then we can sort of ask questions then instead of booking in while it's all going on.
Right, Donna wants to take that one, so I'm gonna let her
So we
take that.
talked about this before, because officially you only have one lot of public question time, so if we have it, whichever way we have it, people won't be happy, so we have talked about it, I think it's on the next agenda, Alan. Or is it the January one, where we're gonna have a section at the beginning and a section at the end?
It's been discussed before.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been planned for the agenda, I can do.
Yeah, I asked for it to be on the agenda, so we can have it'd have to be two shorter versions, but we can have one at the beginning and one at the end. But it is just part of the standing orders and it's most councils working the same way.
Why has it got to be shorter if we've got
Because it's standing orders, it's 15 minutes for public question time. Is in our question, in our public, we've got our standing orders.
15 minutes.
It's been like that for years. But we always we do let it go on for longer.
It's rushing along what people need.
We don't rush you, love. We don't rush you.
Oh,
If you
no.
look, eh?
Yeah, can I just tell you that
I
when,
know.
obviously, in 2019, we had public question time and we didn't put a time limit on it. We've only just decided, a corporate decision, we only just decided, due to obviously a bit disruptive public question time and going over, that we all decided, chairs and vice chairs, when they're in a meeting, it's 15 minutes. Now, sometimes it is up to discretion, like Donna went over on your public question time because it was important.
That's why I don't.
Well, that's your opinion, love, not mine. No, no, I'm shouting because,
Progress.
so you can hear me. You either want me to let you hear me or not. No, so we're gonna move progress now. And this is why we only have public question time for 15 minutes now.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, and then
I'm aware that there's going to be a statement about finance. Yeah. Can I ask when you will be publishing the accounts? So that you can all basically look at them and measure that against what we're going to be told today.
town clerk, responsible officer, can you explain?
The town clerk's council's accounts published at the end of August. And we'll have September out next week.
Can I ask a secondary question? I'll keep it. There are different and conflicting points of view about the state's finances. Does the council feel that it should ensure that everybody is actually singing from the same hymn?
Can I answer this one? Well. Because I have actually asked Alan to put it on agenda so that we all find out exactly what's going to go on in public, what it does, so we can make sure it's the right information. I have asked that to go on the agenda.
Because the public is panicking, as you probably
Yeah,
aware,
I
because-
understand that, and that's why I've asked for this. I've asked for them to put it on the agenda, that whatever they want, any statements that need to go out, we make sure it's the correct statement what's going out.
What is alternate?
And then for us all to obviously.
We want
accept
to
it.
know now.
Steve,
Sorry, yeah, go on.
last week I asked for a smoke break. I've apologized to this lady. If it offended anybody, it wasn't meant to. I asked if I could have a smoke break. I'm sorry if it did offend anybody. Thank you.
No, it didn't.
Well, it clearly did because there were complaints. There were complaints on.
Right, can I ask, going back to the Remembrance Sunday, I have asked in an email, can I ask why Fitzwilliam was left out of the service?
Service.
We didn't have a service by Father John, he walked past us.
Yeah, myself and Councillor Westmoreland laid the wreath, didn't we? But I don't know why Father John walked past. I don't know.
No,
Did you have a service? Did he do the service at the Fitzwilliam?
pardon?
Did you do like a religious part of the service now?
Fitzwilliam?
Yeah.
Not a big one, because when it all turned out, there were a lot there and people were wanting to get down because it were running late.
It wasn't really.
It wasn't half an hour earlier.
I'm not saying it was, and there were people saying it was running late, and Father John said it's not running late, we're running early. And they were getting ready to go down to Kingsley. Lots of people, not us, obviously.
Right. They're all congregated at the shops, like usual. We all went round to wait, I thought. Got around and wait near the thing, and it's just Mark asked.
It says here, look.
And this, and
Times,
we got
yeah.
down Kingsley.
It says here,
Just a minute, let's just.
Kingsley Fitzwilliam Remembrance Parade. Parade meet 10:15, 10:20 wreath, lane, what have you, 10:30. Parade commences down to Kingsley. Now, I've been up Fitzwilliam looking for wreath I'm supposed to be laying, which I got later on. But what I'm saying is, it was half an hour early.
Because the misfits Fitzwilliam out, they just walked straight past us.
I don't know who's responsible, but
Well, all I can
there's
say
a lot
from it,
of
we've,
complaints, hell of a lot.
we've had this discussion at three meetings that I've attended, and up to now, we've not had a proper remembrance Sunday for the parishioners of Fitzwilliam and Kingsley.
You're right, do you know what, right, I got there at 10 and I thought, have I missed this? Have I missed?
It needs
What
to be
happened?
better organised. It means that one person organises it and is responsible for
And
it.
I have sent an email to ask why. But you missed us out again. They walked straight by us.
Alan, who organised it?
It was jointly between the town council, Legion and the cadets. I've already given an explanation briefly to councillor yourself and to councillor Hurd. To give that full explanation here would involve naming people, which wouldn't really be fair. In public.
No, I want you to name people, but I want to make sure that next year we do this properly.
Yeah.
This is the year running now, second year running now, it's not been done properly.
Can I just have
Make
a
sure
word
the
then?
third year is done properly.
Can I just
I
have a word then?
think what it was, I mean, it was too late, left it too late.
It wasn't left too late because you advertised it in June. You advertised it in June.
You just wait while I finish, what I'm going to tell you.
Can you wait,
Mine
that's a word?
organised in June, but what I'm saying is, they're left to book the band.
Oh, yeah,
at
I
the
understand that, I
minute.
understand that.
And
We didn't even have acoustic, we didn't have no band.
No, and you got the, when it cadets, the yeah, the cadets did a march in
Yeah.
remembrance, which I thought
Well,
good of
brilliant.
them and
Yeah,
that
it
was
was,
nice.
I understand that.
But apart from anything else, it was
It
not
just seems to me
organised.
that everything seems to be.
What happened was, Maxine, she's worked hard on getting that memorial all cleaned up, tidy, but it's William Hankins, and we've seen the other workmen doing it, haven't we, Maxine? But what it was, people were saying, where's your band? Where's your band again? And because
We knew there wasn't gonna be a band, we knew.
I know, you know, a lot of
Well,
the public didn't know there wasn't going to be one.
next year we want to make sure, we
We're
want to
gonna
book
book
it now.
Well, I think Alan's taking notes, and obviously, I think it's booked into Alan for next year, am I right?
Spending this year, I think.
We are,
Yeah.
I found a
It's already
straight
been
away to say, well, getting booked now, ready for next year,
Right,
then it
well,
wouldn't get postponed.
I've just said to you that it's already been booked.
Well, it was booked for last year, but it got postponed.
Because there wasn't a band. Everybody marched down a lot quicker
Yeah,
because, you know,
You're
but
right.
the cadets were brilliant, absolutely brilliant, what cadets, but you see, they were upset last year. Because they ended up having to go to South Epsom because they said it was cancelled. And everything last year. They said it was put on Facebook that it were all cancelled, the band were cancelled and everything, but it was said that I'd cancelled it.
No, we're not gonna go on what happened last year.
No, I know, but they were expecting that as though it's
We're
happening
not-
again.
It's not going over that, now, it's gone, we had another issue, and we've sorted
Make
it.
sure it's sorted next-
Like I say, Alan's already.
Thank you.
So, we're moving to item 4.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
One question on behalf of some of my constituents.
Yeah.
Do we have any figures regarding how much it's cost for bonfire night? Yeah.
Off the top of my head, no, it's usually about a few £1,000, but off the top of my head, I wouldn't know.
Okay. I've been asked regarding parking. I believe that there was free parking in Kingsley Dog Track car park.
Yeah.
But there was a car park just a little bit further up. Was charging £3 per car. Will those figures include the money from that car park?
That was nothing to do with the council.
Do we know who is organising that car park?
Well, I think you do know we're all organising it.
yes, wait,
The
it's on.
land belongs to myself and Gordon,
Right.
Okay, then,
and we decide what happens with that.
okay.
It's on agenda, can we just move on with this one?
Yeah, so,
It's on agenda for next.
if anybody wants read information, request it to Alan, they're welcome to do so.
Actually, done that, and I'm waiting for
Right,
freedom of
we are going to
information
move on now
to make
to,
sure.
item
No, you're not going
Item
to
4, councillor Sandal.
okay, for that car park to be cleared.
If you want a bit of information off Alan,
Can't
and
get
ask, why
can't
can't you
get
get them? Can't you can get them?
So you parks,
And I haven't received it.
and you get the money.
No.
To be that stealing from the community.
No.
Yes, it is.
Can I just say, can you just, I know it's frustrating, can we
It's
just
very
wait till the
frustrating.
town meeting? Please. It's coming.
On the 1st of December.
Yeah, but we come all outside our
I
house.
know,
We let him park for 3 years.
I understand.
All under my land. The park's all down where it's. all right.
And that's why I'm not shutting up.
Yeah.
We do understand the frustration.
Not an ambulance come down our street that they managed it.
Well, let me just explain to you then. I weren't gonna explain, but I will explain. First of all, the whole point of having that car park in the first place was because of the highways and the police. There were people parking on Park Hill, obstructing, people couldn't get by, right? That was the first thing.
Okay, to clean it up.
Wait a minute,
Okay,
the
to
council
clean it.
approached myself and Gordon, and we obliged for that car park. Now, yes, the
Well,
council.
why didn't you do it for now then?
Can you just, I'm just speaking to the lady at back. The council did clear it up for the use of the car park. Now, after the first year when we had a charge on it, the rumour was that we were charging £5 a car when we
We're not
weren't.
on about rumours. I'm on
No,
about-
no, wait a minute, I'm gonna explain why, if you don't want to listen, but I'm going to explain. So it was, the rumour was it was £5 a car, well, actually it wasn't, because it was the council that agreed, a corporate decision again, that the charge would be £2, it would alleviate traffic from the roads, because otherwise.
You know, you're angels. Absolutely
Yeah,
angels.
and not only that, all the money that were collected, all the money that were collected will go to Yorkshire Air Ambulance. And that's, so if anybody disapproves of that, if anybody disapproves of that, then
Have you got a receipt for that?
Can we see-
I don't have to get a receipt,
Can we see check that you get into them then?
I don't have to show you anything, I don't.
No,
have to
you
do
do.
anything.
Information request,
Don't get answers.
Maxine, I've already said something.
I know, and I'm not good as well, I understand that as well.
Yeah, that's fine. So if you want any information, can you
It was,
just?
it went to Yorkshire Air
Right,
Ambulance.
when it, move on to item three. No finance.
We don't know these, community not being
Yeah.
informed. The last weekend, what we've asked is 6, 7, 8 meetings. Gender. When are the ruddy notice boards going to be put up in this community to know about Councillor McGuinness's great work on his warm bank? People are asking, tittle tat we're picking more up on social media because this council cannot tell the truth if it hits them in the face.
No, the card.
At the last, the council meeting that you're on about, Julie, that was left to the clerk. I said, let's get on with it, let's get it done.
You blame
I don't know.
the
I don't know where all that.
No, it's all.
Really, you was under them.
And Alan instructs the grounds maintenance.
Can I come in there, Jean, please? So I put that motion on behalf of what Lynn was asking, so I put it in. Alan did get somebody to go, that person was, for reasons I can't discuss, that person has had to give back word. Alan's kept me informed all the time through this process. He then was away for a week, and he's now on with it again with trying to get some more notice boards, so it is being dealt with.
He's got a date.
He did.
Never a date, it's always going to be done, so it's got on.
People getting newsletters, people asking, well, why we miss this, what's happening? You're just not.
Always
coming
saying
to your
lots of
side.
things being said and nothing done.
As I just said, so Alan did get somebody, it was progressing very well, and then for all the reasons I cannot discuss, that did no longer happen, and Alan's now trying to get prices for them.
It's all the time, it's always reasons that we can't discuss.
Can I clarify?
We're not
That's
seeing anything
Right,
getting done.
We're going to finish public question time now. And we're going to item 4. It's that.
Let it finish.
No, you can't hang on. I'm chair, not you. I'm finished public question time. Item 4, councillors' conduct. To consider councillors' conduct. Well, this is just one, it's regarding a councillor putting things on Facebook which caused derogative comments, but I'm not going to mention anything else after that. I'm going to move half of this conversation, exclusion of press and public. So,
No, it needs to go public.
no,
Sorry,
I
no,
can't. No,
That's what the public need to know. They
Right, we're going to move to item 5.
No,
Finance, the chairman to respond to any comments from a financial report circulated
Social
at
media.
The thing is, what she's saying is, whatever we put on Facebook, somebody has to,
No,
somebody has
just a
to,
minute.
like,
No,
no,
that's
meeting, somebody has to be derogative
Right,
about
we want
it.
to just
And then
suspend meeting
that
a bit.
person,
I
that
think
councillor gets into trouble.
Right, so we'll suspend meeting. If you want to carry on then you can, Maxine.
No, no,
He's allowed a voice.
Yes, she is.
He's allowed
And
a
we are.
voice.
We're discussing it.
but the thing is, you're not discussing it, because it should go
You
public. If I
can
think
now.
it's done nothing wrong, the public should know.
There'll be a lot more going on social media.
For the record, I agree with that.
though.
We can't for the nature of the discussion. Alan, Don't think I'd discuss it if I could. I'd love to discuss it.
I want to know.
To discuss a few things.
Yeah, I want to know.
Yes, shall we?
If the council,
Listen, speak.
if the council feels that any councillor has breached the code of conduct, then that discussion must be held in private.
But it's any of these
And-
codes.
and
Trying
then-
to
And
explain.
then a referral would be sent to Wakefield Council for the MO to investigate. The MO then investigates and the results are then made public. But at this stage, at referral stage, they must be confidential. But the results are then made public. There's evidence of this at this council about a year, 18 months ago. The MO reported back, there were 5 reports from 4 councillors of this, and they were reported at council a year, 18 months ago. So that's the process. Referral stage confidential, results public. I presume this will be potentially the referral stage.
Yeah.
In which case, if maybe the individual members of the council, it would have to be private, the results public.
So why don't you all follow those rules? Because
So-
as we brought up in a previous meeting, my GDPR was compromised.
Right.
And I had no apology.
I'm going to stop you there.
Anyone.
I'm going to stop you there because we're on item 5.
Oh,
The chairman to respond to any comments from the financial report circulated. The committee council meetings on 10th November 2022.
Yeah.
Well,
Can I go back on this one? I know the public weren't shared that information and I don't know what they. What I said at the beginning, it wasn't a statement, it was a letter that you sent. And that letter was telling me that when, I'll tell councillors that when the budget was handed over to myself, that it was in a good position. No, I've never disputed that. I think I've said now on 3 occasions that yes, it was in a good position. The problem is, and I'm not going to go into it anymore after this, there's been things pushed down the road, like the gravel paths, the bridge, and all that stuff that hasn't been dealt with in previous years, that then puts us in a worse financial position this year. So I understand the sentiment of your letter, but I don't really understand what the point it was trying to make. I mean, yeah, great, things have been great previously.
But things aren't being done.
Well,
I think that's because things, it's like saying, you know, when I sold you that car. When I sold you that car, it would, you know, I've not spent a penny on it, I've done really well, yeah. You don't spend a penny on a car, you're gonna have to buy a new clutch and all that sort of stuff, that's a really bad analogy, weren't it? But that's the analogy that I'm gonna give. If you don't spend the money, yeah, you're gonna have plenty in the bank. But if you keep looking down the line, it's gonna get to a point where, like we are with the fridge, you know, apparently it's been broken for months and months. Yeah, first meeting, my finance meeting was, here's a list of all the stuff that needs to be done.
it was mentioned long before that, Donna.
Not
but-
by me.
No, but the council, it was a council decision that they would not get new fridge freezers, would not do the pass, would not do what you're saying, but you were saying, you've been saying to people in public that we're in dire straits and that
No,
we're really, we're not in a bad situation, we're okay.
We're not okay though, we just like to spend everything.
Are we okay?
Yes, finance.
Can you answer that question,
We
please?
will just break even. Well, we are,
No, you've got,
well, we just enough in
no,
the pot to
to
be
be even if we look at it.
to be right.
I know, you've got quite a substantial amount of money to spend before April. What's the wage and everything?
Preset. We're talking about the preset. We're not on about preset here. We're on about things for bridges, for the paths. This is not coming out of the preset. This is coming out of the reserve.
Well, that's what you have reserves for.
Yes, we have still got to have reserves for, just in case the emergency comes along, like COVID.
Yeah,
that, we've got to have reserves just in case
We've got
we have to
more
have
than enough in
redundancy.
reserves as well.
But we won't have enough reserve.
Can you
We will
just,
not.
can you just
We'll just
clarify?
have, we'll just have break, right.
To put it basically, the council's finances aren't brilliant, but they're not dreadful either, they're okay.
No, what about the reserve?
At the moment, the reserves are £427,000.
And how much
But
that's
that-
committed?
But there's about 100,000 of that committed though.
And how much were in reserves 12 months ago?
Probably I wouldn't know.
No.
You know, it's like-
So,
Check the
What
weight.
get you on about?
And even worse,
So-
that vendor those.
well,
You see, you didn't budget, you didn't put anything in any of your budget for your legal fees. And I've calculated today, you spent 133,184 in legal fees for Kirby Road. That's just purely Kirby Road, not anything else. So you haven't budgeted for any of that.
You spent nearly
Well,
a million on legal fees.
Came out of reserves.
if you're talking about the 182,000, right,
And
No,
you
it's
said
not
it's not
like
there.
that. It's not about the
Well,
money you
still,
spend, not the money you got.
we wouldn't have had to spend that money if it had been settled up before when it should have been done. When Malcolm C. Freud told the council to sue for breach of contract, they never did. So as soon as we've come in, we've wanted to sort it out. We wanted to sort it out.
See, this is when I differ with this. I differ with this because I was actually on that committee what actually sorted it out, so I differ with this.
You spent and spent
Well,
and
once that-
spent.
I will differ with that.
You got it all sorted.
You would have.
25 grand.
Differ with what she's just said.
Anybody
I'm not
would
saying
have
much
had
more, but I will differ.
We would have had them costs anyway, because it had to be sorted out. We didn't want to complete, and that's why. So it's, as you call it,
Probably that one as well.
kicked down road, you got advice, they got advice from solicitor, they didn't take that advice.
And I'll differ with that one as well.
And the money that, as a goodwill gesture that this last council waived, the interest, 300,000, I don't know, think it's a penny, they just said that's okay, you can keep that interest.
No, I
belong
didn't
to
do that
this.
as well.
What should have come into this parish?
You've wasted
So-
far more than the previous council, and the previous council aren't accountable. Wow.
Right, we're gonna move on to item 6.
Proving you're saying.
No, you don't know what you're talking about sometimes.
Because I'm here, so I will differ.
Right, item 6, Lakeside Cafe Bar income to consider. May to October. You've got a list of these. No, without it, you can't be, that's not taken, it's not, products in cafe
No,
bar,
but
is
it is
it?
expenditure. And I don't understand why you took expenditure off.
You can't prove that something's viable by taking out your staff costs.
Main cost.
We
The
have,
main cost, the main cost.
we have a budget.
Yeah,
We have a
but you
budget. So Alan's wrong then.
Expenditures,
So Alan's wrong then.
expenditures means everything.
I know
It means
exactly
your
what you
cost,
mean.
it means everything.
I know exactly
So
what
you
you mean.
cannot do an expenditure and say, well, staff don't mean that, so we don't have to be on that.
That's
Which
why.
I next to look at the conversation.
We have.
Don't-
That's why we have.
Let us explain it.
I can't talk in that state. Speak for sense, what are you talking?
For me,
Yeah.
why do always me?
We have a budget, a preset for the facilities. Right?
And in that precept, there's staff costings,
Yeah, which is budgeted.
yes.
I'm right or wrong, Alan?
So when you're doing, when you're doing the budget, when you put in with the staff,
I'm just
put in with the side.
Right, spending it. Wow. Not for sick break, that's for sure.
For me. Don't start skitting at people.
Let her go, we'll have a meeting.
I don't have to be shouted at.
But you can shout.
I'm talking so you can hear me. If I talk, you moan. If I talk loud, you moan. I can't win. That's your opinion.
No, it's not your opinion.
Yeah, we know. So we'll suspend it for 5 minutes.
Can you all get your watches on then, so you can do your 5-minute suspension?
Yeah.
You know how to tell the time?
It's not a sick break.
It's not a separate-
Did I say we-
You said a sick break.
No, she didn't.
I'm gonna say this minute.
So say,
You need to shut. You need to shut your mouth, then I can get up and down.
Yeah, you can put anything you got, maybe you want. Yeah.
Not really what I mean.
Anyway.
No, we're not. If we're people, we'll come there, we're not saying that.
yeah,
You know.
Yeah.
Well, you used to text, you used to text. We didn't have to do. But they would ask you. But a good job then, let's go. That's what you saw now. That's it. There's the memorial now.
right, item 6, councillors,
Is that, is it?
item 6, Lakeside Cafe Bar, to consider the cafe bar's income from April to October. I think we've got it, we were just talking about that then, weren't we? Yeah.
Can I make a
But-
comment on this, please?
Yeah.
So we've been sent 2 lots of records.
Yeah.
So the first lot of records that we got last week was total expenditure including staff costs and then total income. And as we know, there was a deficit, as there always is, and I think, I don't think the cafe bar's ever done well as long as I've, as long as it's been there, it's, it doesn't have to make a profit.
No.
The second lot of figures we were sent removed the staff costs from there.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what point that's trying to prove, because in any business, when you're taking anything into consideration, you have to take into staffing costs, they're your biggest costs. So we can't say, oh, did it do brilliant, because we've taken off, tens of thousands of pounds in staffing costs. I'm just wondering just why really.
Just really about the deficit, really. It's obviously, it's getting better, isn't it? We've had, obviously over the, from 2019 to 22, we've had COVID, which had it did have a big effect on what, I mean, our country shut down, but it's not only for
But you got
that, it's actually,
furlough payments.
Take that off.
yeah,
I just think
it's just for you to, yeah, just for you to know what, actually, just to let you know and to show what we're doing.
If we're open and transparent, we need to show everything. Now, this is where I'm differing with this, I'm sorry, but to me, you have not shown everything to the parishioners or to us. It's not, everything's there, so it's not open and it's not transparent,
We haven't
and
actually
it's misleading, it's misleading public.
I think it's, I agree with Maxine, if it's gonna be shared, it needs to be the full cost, because you can't take off your staffing costs, it's not how it works, you've got to.
I do know, Donna,
I know
but
you do know,
I'm
but
just saying, I just
not
wanted to take staffing out for you to look at the figures, what they're actually doing at the cafe.
And
the
I
cafe
think
bar.
I have
And-
actually
and-
said to Alan,
and
to
that-
thank the staff at the water park for this.
Yeah, not
It
only,
is-
We understand that, but it's still misleading public
Not
because
only
it's
that.
not, it's not great.
not only that, obviously.
So
yeah,
you're interrupting what she's saying
things will
now.
get,
Let her finish.
things will get
And
better.
please,
Obviously, things will get better now. The refurb's been done, everything's in place. Now we've got the upstairs done. We've actually got,
but there's still things to do, like flooring and everything else, you gave us a list to do. So it's not all done,
Flooring, boilers, fridges.
we've still got it all to do.
yeah, well,
So I don't know where you got that, all these things done,
I
because
think,
it isn't.
I think to be fair, Donna, Maxine, what you were saying before, you're putting his chair and we've got this, that and this, that and that to do.
Yeah.
We had this,
But
that
yeah.
and this, that to do
Get it?
before.
I'm not disputing the figures that you've shared at all, and I'm not saying it should be making more money, I haven't had a chance to properly look at what the cafe's is done over the last, you know, we have to look at over a long period of time. My point is, when we're sharing figures, we have to include full expenditure. We can't take out the bits that make it look better.
Well, I know that, but what I'm saying, I wanted to just get across without the wages, what we're actually doing, and you can see what they're doing.
Wages, you wouldn't have the cafe, because you can't take the staff out and go, right, that's the cafe, because it'll make up then, does it? Because there's no one to prepare it. No business can run and exclude its staffing costs from its expenditure and report a profit on it. It
Well, I
doesn't
think
work
we've got that as well, haven't we? We've got it with staff as well, haven't we?
But I just
You've
can't
got
get my head around
so
why
we've got fixed costs, and we've got one without staffing costs. But let me tell you, obviously, yeah, you're going about Lakeside, and you know they are working hard, like every council member. But you know, from November to December, we're absolutely full up with bookings, and that's not what we've already done. Sometimes we've had 2 bookings in one day. You know, we are getting the bookings now. We are getting the bookings and things are. And I know you said about a profit.
What we're saying
I know
about
you said
this.
about a profit, but it's better to make, if the cafe bar does well and with the functions and everything, it's better to do a little surplus so we don't have as much to put in and to
No, I'm not
obviously get
disagreeing.
things.
We're not disagreeing
I don't
that,
think-
but
I am-
what you've done is you've took half the costings out. And it's
I
just not.
am brought this on today.
I don't understand what the point, what we're trying, what the point is, if I'm honest, like, no, nobody's questioned the cafe bar. I've said, you know, I get it won't make a profit, I get that we might only break even, I get it's hard, I mean, it's not that it's in an awkward position, I get it's tough.
But
I
it's
just don't
having,
get what we're doing.
it has improved, that's what
Exactly,
they.
but it's.
No,
That's fine.
no, but you know, just wanting to look at what we're doing, yes, and hopefully it'll go from with the bookings, it'll go from strength to strength, and that is why it was so bad before. Then we had the COVID, we did the refurb, that took a lot of money, you know, but obviously there is going to be. I just, we're all doing things wrong,
I need
we're
to
all
understand some of. I apologise for this. actually.
global before, I went to the finances, but it's not that bad.
When you keep saying what we're doing.
Speak up, so.
What we're doing.
Oh, the council, what do you think I meant?
But
What we, the council, when I sit here as chair, I speak, you know, we the council, I don't speak any individual.
that's fine, that's fine.
Right, so I think that is.
So we can't hear any figures, what are you saying?
Well, you can't see figures.
Sorry?
You can't see the figures.
I think we'll try and share them if.
Alan,
Just
can-
not that
we'll
one.
just see Alan, because obviously he can tell us whether or not.
Yeah, yeah.
Can we share it tonight? Or can you get copies of that?
Could you go through the income from April this year?
Yes.
The income from the cafe bar from April this year to August per month. April was just over £25,000. May was just over £25,000. June was just over £26,000. July was just over, just over £28,000. And August was over £40,000.
And what's September?
So that's an income,
I know that
an income of 146,648. Yeah. Over those 5 months.
Yeah.
Expenditure,
Expenditure.
But yeah, the expenditure, you can see, well, just say it, Ian.
expenditure over those 5 months is 96,689.
No.
It's a £50,000 difference.
Yes.
£50,000 difference between income and expenditure.
It's okay.
Which is- Which is, it obviously is better than the years before, it is getting better, but you know, the councils don't, you're not here to make money. If we can break even, it's going to save money for preset payer, and that's what it's all about. So if we can do that with services that we're doing. Well, that's what I'm saying, that's what I said, that's what I've always said. If you make your surplus, then it's gonna be a lot better.
Can I just, obviously, there's a lady that brings up in quite a number of meetings about, I've got to word this properly, the equipment for children.
Yeah, it says what play equipment.
Yes. So this 50,000 that we've got, why aren't we putting that?
£50,000.
Sorry, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, we don't spend any more.
It was the other way around.
They don't put anything in the,
Lost.
So it's lost 50,000.
Only if it's.
No,
only if it's
yeah, but-
consideration staffing costs.
But
No, no.
the business would not survive.
Right, the 50,000,
we're a council, not a business.
the 50,000 pound difference, the 50,000 pound difference, I believe, does not include staffing costs.
It does, that one does, that one does. Yeah, that, no, thousand does.
To item 7, let's go to the press and public, members of the public in the press. to be excluded.
Shut up, public.
The business and confidential nature